Good afternoon, everyone. This is Coach Matt with our Wednesday workout. As a reminder, this is the 2nd of July workout, and most classes will be open gym today. However, we still have the normal programming, and there will be full access to the building as normal at all class times. So just make sure you pay attention to the video and have a great workout. This is occurring on today and tomorrow, the 3rd of July. All right, so today we're going to start off with a simple general warm-up. So 20 jumping jacks, 15 reps on each side of a mountain climber, so that's just knees straight towards the elbow, and then 10 reps of an air squat. So once you get through that little sequence, you should be a little bit sweaty, got a little bit of movement prep on the squat. Then we're gonna move into specific warm-up for the back squat, which is gonna be our focus lift for today. So I've got my back squat bar set up. I want you to get a minimum of 2 additional sets of relatively low reps on the squat before we go into the doubles, right? So the doubles is gonna be 5 sets of 2. The percentages are built into SugarWOD, and try to get 3 sets above 85%. Now that could mean exactly 85% for all 3 sets. It could mean you go 85, 87, 90. It could mean 85, 87, 85. You feel that out. Listen to your body, and but try to get 3 sets above 85%. Okay. No superset on this today. Make sure you're resting 2 to 3 minutes between each set. When you finish that, there will be a very simple sprint component. It will be either a row or a bike. If you're doing the bike, just 4 10-second sprints for as many calories as you can get in those 10 seconds. It should be a legitimate max effort, and then a relatively long recovery, like 3-4 minutes in between each rep. Okay. If you're doing the 10-stroke watt test on the rowers, that's real simple. Also, you just put the rower on wattage, use the change units button to do that, and then you just rip for 10 strokes. This is my personal thoughts on that. Is like, I have definitely pulled muscles in my back from going from 0 to 100 miles an hour on the rower. Other people do great at it, and I'm just saying this is one of those things that it can trip you up, or it can cause a little bit of irritation to those lumbar muscles if you really like crank on it hard from 0. Okay, so just keep that in mind as you go. Just like, you know, kind of like playing softball when you're a middle-aged guy, is like that. It's that hitting the ball and like sprinting to first base that tears hamstrings. Okay, so just beware of the rapid, ballistic application of force to those muscles. Next is extra credit, and again, extra credit is always optional. It's just out there if you want to take advantage of it. It's a little bit of joint work, a little bit of bodybuilding work. So do 3 of these exercises back to back for 2 to 3 rounds, and then do the other 2 exercises back to back also for 2 to 3 rounds. So the first one is a band face pull, and that will be with a small band mounted around the rig. We're getting 15 reps, palms facing down, and we're just rowing over the top of my head, trying to keep my elbows at about 90 degrees when I get over the top of my head. All right, 15 reps of that. Next, we're gonna have, you could use that same band and take it off the rig, or you could get a similar size. This 45-degree shoulder raise. So this is straight ahead, this is straight to the side. I wanna be at 45 degrees, and I'm holding the bands around my hands like so that my thumbs stay up, and I'm having to push apart in order to get that 45-degree angle. All right, and I'm just doing 45-degree angle shoulder raises for 15 reps. Next one is shoulder external rotations, and I want to do these with a pad underneath my elbow. You can use, these are the little neck pads for the bars. You can also use a foam roller over there rack, but I'm squeezing it underneath my elbow, in between my ribs and my elbow, and then I'm grabbing that band and rotating outward away from my body, trying not to rotate my shoulders or my hips. It is just my upper arm that is rotating in the ball and socket of my shoulder blade. Okay, that is the shoulder external rotations. Do that on both sides. So get through those 3 exercises, go back to back to back. So that's a little shoulder, shoulder, shoulder. And the next one is knees and knees. All right, so the first one will be our front foot elevated split squat. And if you want a plate on this, you can. You do not need a plate. It gets a little bit higher, or it gets a little bit easier if you use a little higher of a plate, and on the ground is the hardest way to do it. But I want to see the knee as far behind the toe as possible, and then the knee as far in front of the toe as possible, while keeping the foot flat on whatever object it is. So if you're on the ground, foot has to stay flat. If you're on 3 plates, foot has to stay flat, and then we're pushing up and back. And you can load this with up to a moderate kettlebell, like a 53-pound kettlebell is pretty challenging on this, but you could go heavier if you want to. 8 reps on each side. And then the Spanish squat or the wall squat is next. So that is an isometric exercise where we're trying to be in the 90-degree position with my knees, right? So I've got the band, this is the Spanish squat variation. It will look the same on the wall, you're just pushing against the wall. So with the Spanish squat, I'm walking out, so I've got tension on the band behind my knees, and I'm sitting down to this 90-degree position and holding and watching the clock, okay? And that is our Spanish squat. Both of those are fantastic knee training and resilience exercises. They will help your patella tendons to feel less pain. They will help to realign the collagen fibers in your knees and build strength in those deep ranges of motion. That's very important for knee health, okay? All right, that's it for today. Enjoy it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.